Why, hello everyone, welcome to the Shuttlecast. I'm Sal.
I'm Josiah.
I'm Nathan.
And we're here for part 1 of our View Askiewniverse retrospective.
It's a lot of syllables.
It's a lot of things going on.
It's a retrospective I don't think a lot of people have done.
No, it's very unique to us.
It's
us.
Yeah, it's a little skew of the standard retrospectives
so
that you might be listening to.
Before the MCU. Before
This is the real cinematic universe that we should be talking about, truthfully.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like Tarantino, but like even more so. Because Tarantino has those little nods, like, oh, this is a descendant from this other character from another movie, and then this is like, no, just Jay and Silent Bob are fighting demons now.
Yeah,
it's like Quentin Tarantino mixed with the height of the Slenderverse.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
it's just like, oh wait, but this character is from this other series, and it's like, yeah, it just popped up. And it's like, oh, that's really cool.
So some may be wondering, what is the View Askiewiverse? This is the cinematic universe that Kevin Smith has designed that encapsulates not only the characters of Jay and Silent Bob, but other characters as well, like Brody and Gwen and the variations of Ben Affleck.
Yeah, there's so much Ben Affleck.
So much Ben Affleck.
Which is, thank God.
Thank God for you.
So maybe we should talk about what films we're going to be discussing in this part 1. Because
in part 1, we are talking about Clerks, Mallrats the extended cut, Mallrats the theatrical cut, Clerks the lost scene, Drawing Flies, Chasing Amy, Dogma, and Scream 3.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wide variety in terms of tone and direction and quality.
That's kind of why I love this, though, because you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah,
I never know if like some random weird spin-off movie is gonna be really good or really bad.
Yeah,
and I don't know, because Kevin Smith is pretty open to doing different types of movies, which I appreciate, because he definitely didn't want to be typecast as that guy who did the Clerks movie.
Yeah, I do the talky funny movie.
Yeah.
He fuck you and make a giant epic religious film because I can.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
So let's lay the groundwork here. This was my idea.
Well, this was kind of Sal's baby.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do this for a long time on the Shuttlecast.
You also haven't seen everything, right, in this list?
No.
Yeah.
A lot of things, though.
Yeah.
Most of these I've seen.
The Drawing Flies, of course.
Drawing Flies, Degrassi, the newest film, which is what kind of prompted me to do this in the first place.
The reboot.
Yeah. Because the reboot came out 2 years ago now. Fuck, I hate time. But it kind of prompted me to say, oh, I don't go back to this series. But then you guys are like, I haven't really experienced the View Askiew so I was like, well, let's do it all together.
Yeah, I don't think beforehand I had seen a single entry in the View Askiew.
I know I had seen Clerks. It was very early on in my development where I didn't really get it. Now I get it, and it's amazing. But I had seen Clerks. I'd seen the Scream movies. You had seen the Scream movies before, Nathan. We watched them together.
That's right.
Then, of course, Live Free or Die Hard, I've seen many times.
That's part of the universe, by the way, so don't worry, everybody. Yeah. Don't worry.
And then I had seen Tusk and Fanboys. And I think that was it. I think those were the only, and maybe that one random Flash episode. I had seen that.
Or Dogma.
Oh, yeah, I had seen Dogma.
Yeah.
I watched that with my parents.
But, so this is, I've watched most of these movies. And I grew up loving and watching the View Askiew films as a kid, as a teenager, and now as an adult.
Oh, that is cool.
Going back to fully look at the whole picture. And so that's what we're doing. We're kind of going through. It's in a different bit of a format, since we're not going to talk about every film all the way through, scene by scene. We're going to do more of a generalized discussion, but
yeah. And we've split this up into I think we've settled on 3 parts, because
3 or 4.
We're also going to be covering TV episodes that Jay and Silent Bob have appeared in, or random comedy pilots that are referenced in some way. And also we're going to cover his stand-up at one point, which will be fun.
Yeah.
To cover stand-up.
Yeah.
That's going to be really weird.
That is going to be...
I love this retrospective. It's movies, it's shows, it's stand-up, it's...
animated series.
Yeah, it's everything, man.
Yeah,
it's so fucking cool.
You get it all.
all.
We're not doing the comics, but it's okay.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
So let's begin our discussion very appropriately with the first thing that started it all, Clerks.
Holy shit. When I was a kid, this movie was so fucking funny to me. But then I got into retail, the movie became fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And very, very depressing.
Very depressing.
Well, yeah.
As the years go on, I feel more and more like I'm stuck in the Clerks movie. And it's so sad.
I feel like Clerks, to me, is very Quentin Tarantino-y if it just never got to the action. And that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
that's wonderful.
Like, imagine if the Jules and Verne shit was just the entire movie.
They're just in the diner for 90 minutes.
Yeah, that's the whole film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's so incredible. And you know, you have to be a really good writer to have that much dialogue. Like, your entire movie is dialogue.
Yeah.
And it's still, like, engaging. There's still, like, a full-on story, even though, like, all the characters... Like, the most the characters do is play a very short game of hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, Clerks, coming to it now, it lives up to the hype that has been built around it for decades now.
Yeah.
Of just like, oh, Clerks is, one of the funniest comedies of all time. Like, it just jump-started this whole independent scene in some ways, and it really did hold up where I actually really cared about the characters, but was also laughing at the absurdity of everything. And I think that's Kevin Smith's strength. He'll undersell himself. And sometimes, in some flicks, it may be more prominent than others, but he really does want to present a story here while also having some yucks,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just a really, you follow these characters through just like one day at their job.
Yeah.
Like Dante and Randall at the the Quickie Stop convenience store and the video rental shop, respectively.
Mm-hmm.
Just through like dealing with customers, what they kind of go through, also their personal lives.
Yeah.
It's a really great look at like not only just like a day in life of these people, but also in like how working at a video store and a convenience store looks like.
Yeah.
It's very realistic. The whole cigarette arc.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Of like Randall's watching the fucking are you talking about the kid or the strike that happens?
Everything connected to cigarettes. It's a whole theme. It's a running joke of, oh, it's a convenience store. Of course, there's like a dispute or there's a situation with cigarettes. It's like, no, this keeps coming back. You cannot escape.
Yeah, this is every day.
Yeah, and just that's the thing is, I feel like Clerks. Well, I know that we're all kind of on the same page where there's been stuff afterwards that we've experienced so far that is doing something new and trying something very interesting. But yeah, I do feel like Clerks is like, it's hard to top this.
Yeah.
'Cause it's very solid. And it doesn't really, yeah, like you were saying, Nathan, it doesn't cease. It has to constantly keep you entertained.
Yeah.
Or otherwise stuff gets cut. And it's very interesting when you showed us the alternate ending to the movie where it's even more depressing at the end.
Yeah, the alternate ending to the film, because I have the 10th anniversary DVD box set.
Oh boy.
I'm a nerd.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and it has the original cuts of the film and also the original ending, but before it got touched up. Back when it was like pure VHS shit.
Yeah.
Before Miramax came and said, "Hey, let's make this look good for people."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has an ending where someone walks into the shop and just shoots Dante in the face.
Yeah.
And
it's like, oh,
and then
God.
robs the register and leaves.
Yeah, it's such a dark
Such
conclusion.
a dark ending, and I'm so happy that's not what happens, because Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Kevin Smith will always be real, but he was like, yeah, maybe it doesn't have to be like that depressing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Clerks is just really good. It's been a while since we've watched it, so it's hard to talk about specifics, but it's just, I have nothing else to say other than you just have to watch it.
Yeah,
even if I told you the plot, it does not convey what the movie is at all.
It's so funny to me because I feel like for how disjointed and varied this, watch through is going to be, we were like hammering it out so well until we hit the final entry of this portion. And then it killed it for like a couple months. So
yeah.
Like the last thing we talk about, we will have like just seen, or I don't know how much we want to include
We'll talk about
No, we're gonna talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's fine.
but I mean, I love the characters in Clerks. And again, yeah, it's a bunch of long takes of just people standing in front of the camera, like almost like a play.
Yeah.
Like Clerks would be a fucking awesome play.
It really would.
100%.
Like it's built for that. It's just like it's real people having real conversations, and like there's real drama happening. It's understandable. It's funny as fuck. Like, and it's so interesting how these characters start here, because like, Randall and Dante will keep coming back, or their family members come back throughout the View Askiewiverse, still played by them, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting to see Jay and Silent Bob in this first film.
Yeah, because they're kind of just they're like a subplot joke.
Yeah, they're barely there. They're just there to like show in wide shots to show that people are just selling weed outside the store.
Yeah.
Which is honestly perfect, because they go from, it just shows you how memorable Clerks is, that they're such minor characters, but they became this flash fire of popularity and are now the face of the whole universe.
Yeah.
When Dante and Randall are the main characters.
Yeah, I always forget when I rewatch Clerks how small of a role they have. Jay and Silent Bob.
It's very small.
We also get the greatest song ever, Berserker.
Yeah.
Yep.
My love for you is like a truck Berserker. My love for you is like making fuck Berserker.
Well beloved by this household.
Absolutely.
So good. Did you say making fuck?
Did you say making fuck? It's there's a million jokes to laugh at in Clerks, and there's several things to cry about
and groan, like when it really fucked us up. Like, so Dante has his girlfriend Veronica, who's like the perfect girlfriend, like this short, sassy Italian girl from New York,
brings
New Jersey,
food,
brings him lasagna at work, like wife material.
Oh yeah, easy.
Then there's this other fucking chick who, what's her fucking name again? What's this fucking homewrecker's name?
Piece of shit.
Piece of shit, bitch.
Is it? It's not. No. Is it Caitlin?
It's Caitlin. It's Caitlin. Yeah.
Okay.
This fucking bitch Caitlin is like Dante's like ex-girlfriend from high school, who, while they were dating, she fucked like everybody but him, basically.
Yeah.
And like they're still like talking over the phone and shit, and she like comes back to wreck everything, but she gets her just rewards when she fucks a fucking dead old guy in the bathroom with the lights off.
Yeah, that's
thinking it's Dante.
Yeah.
And she's such a hoe. She doesn't check before and make sure it's Dante.
Yeah. It's very sad to see him simping, but that's the whole arc, is that it's about him not being a cuck.
Yeah.
And he has to figure out, oh wait, this is what my priorities should be.
Because Veronica was like is the optimal route.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah, oh absolutely.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
And she's a character who, the actress or that character never comes back ever again.
It's so sad.
And it's so sad because she's so great.
Yeah.
I would have loved her in more films, just being like the one who stands up to all the bullshit, you know? Because she comes in the first, in one of the first scenes and like stops the big cigarette riot and like sprays them all down with the fucking fire extinguishers. Like, what are you doing? People need to have jobs. Go commute.
Yeah.
I love that line so fucking much. Like, go commute, go be a part of society.
It's so good.
Like, do something with your lives. It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of interesting actual depth in terms of how he handles the relationships, because it's very real. Like, there's a whole thing about the number of blowjobs, and it's like,
yeah,
it's very interesting how Kevin Smith, I'm sure due to conversations he's had or has heard, explores how relationships, people get hung up on like little things that don't matter in comparison to something they've done. It's like, well, wait a minute, but
like Dante's had sex with 12 girls, but Veronica sucked 37 dicks, and so she's all of a sudden the problem.
Yeah, because it's like a higher number, and it's like, well, it's whatever, man. Like, who cares? She's bringing you lasagna, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that shit that people get hung up on in relationships, that's a secret that will cuck us later. And another entry.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh.
God damn it, Kevin Smith. Why do you have to be so good at realistic dialogue?
So
This also has one of the greatest scenes ever, really in the Star Wars, where they talk about the Death Star.
Yeah.
And the conversation where it basically says, the idea of the conversation is, isn't it fucked up that they blew up the Death Star on the second one while it's being built when it's probably just a bunch of contractors working on the Death Star? So isn't it fucked up that the good guys, quote unquote, kill these innocent people who's working on the Death Star for money to feed their families? And then an actual contractor is in the store, and he's like, a contractor goes in his heart, not with his wallet. And like how he was gonna take a big check from like this like crime family to work on their house, but then he didn't because he didn't feel good about it. So his buddy didn't get, and the place got shot up. And he's like, well, that was his choice to go work for the mafia. So anyone who would have worked for the Empire during that time would have known.
Immediately shuts down the moral argument.
Yeah.
He's like, nope, that's not true.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
God, it's shit like that where it's like that's such an interesting scene in the movie, but it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it especially resonates with us being movie people, where we will go into those semantics for hours and hours and
and go, what about this thing?
Yeah.
But he put it in a movie and it's immortalized forever and it's so great.
Yeah.
Really good.
So then we did an interesting thing where we watched the extended cut of Mallrats, and then we were like, we should also probably watch the theatrical because I want to know the differences.
Well, I think a large portion of it was seeing Sal's mind melt at the shit that because correct me if I'm wrong, but it had been a while since you had seen it in general.
Yes.
And so watching it, you were like,
and I'd never seen the extended cut before.
Yeah, you'd never seen the extended cut. So
I think I bought that Blu-ray for this watch through.
Yeah.
And it came with the extended cut and I was like, I've never seen that before.
Yeah. And so like the opening scene, you were like, I don't think any of this is in the movie.
The whole first 5 minutes, I was like, what the fuck's happening?
Yeah.
This film that I had seen, like, dozens, if not, like, close to hundreds of times.
Yeah.
I was like, this is new. This is new to me. This is wrong. This isn't right.
Yeah, something's fucky. And I think we also kind of... again, it's been a while. I feel like the extended cut... by the end of it, we were kind of like, this has like weird issues that are like introduced, and you were like, no, I think in the end the original is a lot better.
So then we watched the original.
Yeah,
so we watched them both back to back, basically,
pretty much,
and decided that the theatrical cut was better.
Yeah,
you lose a lot of really great jokes, though.
Yeah,
there are some very good jokes that are added in.
I think we made the comment that, and of course it's been months, so this is a really poorly planned discussion.
Yeah, well,
but
Scream 3.
Always blame Scream 3.
Scream 3. That's the problem. But we said that we kind of wanted a hybrid edit of the two.
Yeah. Well, because what it is that a lot of the extended stuff in the opening is not necessary.
Yes.
Once they get to the mall, keep everything that you cut.
Yeah.
Almost every
they
single
cut
thing.
some Stan Lee.
They did.
Well, and remember, there's the bit where what is it? They like it's they go over to the guy's girlfriend's house, and there's like a news crew, and that's all just extended shit.
Yeah, and like the footage of Michael Rooker working out naked was part of the news crew scene.
Yeah.
But then they just reworked it as part of his character introduction as just showing off how weird he is. And it was just like, and then like some random, and then the whole movie, like people are recognizing TS from like trying to shoot the governor, which is from the opening.
Yeah.
So that they cut out references to that throughout the whole film.
It was very weird to see just how editing a movie can change the entire plot.
Yeah, literally a whole subplot throughout the whole movie is taken out, and I didn't even realize it when I first watched it.
Yeah.
Now watching them both back to back, we could see the edits.
Yeah.
We watched the theatrical.
Even when it dubs over. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
The one guy who walked up to them and he got punched in the face because he was recognizing TS. got dubbed over to something else, and it's like, what?
I remember there's the bit like right before the show where the main guy is talking with Michael Rooker, and it's like this longer conversation that like builds up and he gets more and more frustrated, but then in the theatrical he like jumps immediately to being frustrated, and it's like, Michael Rooker, you're so scary.
It's this weird thing where with Mallrats, a lot of the stuff that is in the extended cut is technically not necessary, but Michael Rooker is built up way better.
Yeah.
In the theatrical cut, he kind of just shows up, and you're like, oh, I guess you're the main villain now. And it's like, okay.
Well, and I think also with the theatrical version, I feel like it's easier to root for the main protagonist, whereas like when you watch the extended, it's like, no, you're kind of actually a piece of shit that's ruining this man's life.
Yeah,
it's true.
Also, the theatrical cuts out Stan Lee saying Excelsior, and that's heresy. There
is a hybrid edit of this that is the best version of the movie, because like the pacing is way better in the theatrical, obviously.
Yeah.
But you lose a lot of good stuff from the extended cut and a lot of build up for Michael Rooker.
You miss out finding out that the three nippled fortune teller eats the fake third nipple instead of popping into her mouth.
Yeah.
Cherry.
Take that out of people who haven't seen this movie are like, what?
Yeah, that was when we watched theatrical. We were like, wait a minute, you don't even know context as to why she does that.
Yeah.
No, it's very weird.
Because when I watched it when I was younger, I always thought she was like doing that to like re-moisten it.
Yeah.
Maybe, and then watched extended, and I'm like, oh, she eats it. It's like a candy. What?
Yeah.
The fuck?
This movie, very much like Clerks, this is literally just a couple of people randomly just like going around the mall.
But with the budget of we're in a mall now.
Yeah, yes, the budget is explosively bigger.
Oh yeah,
Jay and Silent Bob literally pull a Batman.
Bro, they have a whole plot. It's so good.
Oh yeah, their rivalry with the security. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, we cut out some LaForce stuff too.
LaForce is great.
They cut out LaForce fucking the 15-year-old.
That's why.
That joke is so funny.
But it's a great joke.
They keep it implied because in the end with the theatrical, there's still her releasing her book with LaForce there.
Yeah. Theatrical is a bit more like, oh, I guess he just decided to work with her now because conservation of characters, whereas in extended cut, it's another fucking.
Yeah. Theatrical cut also cuts out Ben Affleck getting raped in prison.
Yeah. Does it cut out all of it? I thought it just. I think what it is.
It's shorter in theatrical.
It cuts out his reaction.
Yeah. In the theatrical, it's like, oh, he's making new friends in prison. You see his hand on the bar, and then a hand going over his, and then in the theatrical, there's like two guys on either side of him, and he's just like, ah!
It's like, oh shit, I'm sorry.
I guess we'll talk about more of the actual movies and the differences. The plot's pretty basic. It's this guy wants his girlfriend back because they broke up.
Yeah.
And so her father is going to start up a TV show, and it's filming the first episode live at the mall.
Yeah.
Much like TNT Nitro. And
yeah, you're right. They couldn't quite get Mall of America.
No, they're gonna get Mall of America or Hulk Hogan or Pastamania, but
oh man,
they got Stanley.
They got Stanley, so that's even better.
And arguably one of his best cameos.
I'd say probably his best cameo.
I would say so.
I'd say this is the best Stanley cameo in history.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Marvel.
Yeah.
Bastard. And so he's basically gonna try to, because the plot of the game show is that the girl on the show has three like bachelors or three suitors, and whoever wins the game show gets to go on a date with her or whatever. And she's on it because the girl who's supposed to be on it died while swimming in a pool, and she died mid backstroke. And so now she has to be on the show. So their whole plot is to sabotage the game show while also trying to win her back, maybe. And so they leave the sabotaging to Jay and Silent Bob. So
brilliant choice.
So their roles are exponentially increased in this film.
Oh yeah,
which is great. It's so fantastic. And so their whole plot is to try to destroy the set, destroy anything they can, while they're off trying to not only reconcile TS his relationship, but also Brody's relationship with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Because he gets dumped too. And so they're both trying to get back their respective girlfriends. Though Brody has to fight Ben Affleck while T has to fight Michael Rooker.
Those are both scary.
Yeah, and for different reasons.
Yeah. Because Ben Affleck gets to be a real prick.
Yeah, he's the manager of the fashion store Fashionably Male.
Yeah.
Oh, also in the extended cut, that beat up scene is like 5 times longer.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Like Brody gets beat up for like 20 minutes in an extended cut.
Yeah, it's
like a minute in theatrical. Extended cut, it's the whole like it's an entire fight sequence. Well, fight.
Mugging.
It's a mugging.
It's a mugging. Yeah.
It's depressing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so sad. I just remembered this. It was so depressing.
But it's great because, you know, like, Brody fucks the shit out of his girlfriend on the elevator.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck's back.
You have a glow about you. Am I glowing?
Yeah.
So good. I love Ben Affleck has a great line of I hate people with no fucking shopping agenda. Whenever I'm at a store and someone's like looking confused, I'm like, I hate people with no shopping agenda.
Yeah.
Then you have of course, one of the best scenes of that kid is back on the escalator.
Bro, I was so fucking happy that you guys popped for that because that's one of my favorite goddamn jokes in history.
Oh, that was great.
It's so
that
funny.
kid is back on the escalator again. He's gonna get caught. He's gonna bleed out and die.
Do you know how many escalator-related accidents there are every year? And then, of course, it goes wrong.
Yeah, it's such a great like off-screen joke too.
Yeah.
Oh, also an extended cut. There's more of the boat guy and the little kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, God, I want the hybrid cut.
Yeah,
man.
I need to do the hybrid edit
Yeah,
because
Jesus
I feel
Christ,
really good.
it's
Mallrats is it's very good. Again, like there is this perfect version of it that's somewhere in between because I got a lot out of the extended cut, but then the pacing of the theatrical cut was so good.
Yeah.
Because the extended cut's like 2 hours and the theatrical is like an hour 30 or
yeah,
something.
I think so.
So there's a lot of content, and I would say that
I think if you just cut the governor stuff from the
Yeah.
opening and throughout,
yeah,
keep the rest.
keep the rest. That's exactly what I would suggest.
Yeah. And same with the news crew stuff that is building off of the
Yeah,
governor shit.
So
as fun as it is to see more of naked Michael Rooker working out.
With a fake news camera filter.
Yeah, so good.
It's really funny.
Mallrats is very good. It's not as good as Clerks, but it's also not really trying to be. It's just kind of more ambitious, and Kevin Smith kind of stretching his legs to see what he can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Clerks, but with more room to breathe in terms of like space
Yeah.
Yeah.
and more characters to work with.
There's more jokes you can do, and so that's why there's so many different angles of jokes.
It's kind of like you kind of have two Dantes, one just more like a Randall.
Yes.
That's kind of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though this is the introduction of Brody, who continues out throughout most of the View Askiew movies.
Yeah, he is kind of like the third most popular character.
It's Jay, Silent Bob, Brody, and then the variations of Ben Affleck.
Well, that's the thing is because there's a difference between an actor coming back and the character being so popular that
Because the joke about Ben Affleck is that he keeps coming back, but only sometimes he redo a character.
only sometimes.
I know that the manager of Fashion Male's in the reboot.
Oh, God.
I know that for a fucking fact.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I can't wait.
Starring Chris Jericho.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's right.
We're going to get there.
That's fucking right. So, and to wrap up this little trilogy, we have Clerks: The Lost Scene, which is an animated short film.
This was cool.
Because I didn't have the budget.
Yeah, so
This was very cool.
let me do the groundwork. This is the first time I actually ever watched it.
Oh,
yeah.
I was really blown away by this. I always wanted to, but I was waiting for the right moment, and this is it.
Yeah.
So in Clerks, there's a scene where they leave during the day to go to a funeral because their friend died. Something Dwyer, I think. And then during Mallrats, it's set a couple days before Clerks because the girl whose the funeral it is the girl who died mid-Batstroke who's going to be on the game show.
Which was great continuity.
Which is great continuity.
But that's cut out of the
Extended cut.
Extended cut.
Yeah, so the Lost Room is only canon to Mallrats Theatrical.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Yeah.
That's why we need this hybrid edit.
Yeah, exactly, because it's a very weird position to be in.
So then you would just marathon the hybrid edit of Mallrats followed by Clerks, including the lost scene.
Yes, you'd edit that in at the spot, and you're good.
And so what this Lost Scene is, it's because in Clerks they go to the funeral, it cuts, to 15 minutes later.
Yeah.
And then they're running out of the funeral. People are chasing them and they're driving away. And because during the funeral they knocked over the casket. Now this lost scene shows how that went down while having both Clerks and Mallrats characters interacting.
Yeah.
It's all without Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah, it was entirely Dante and Randall, which was great because I missed them so much from Clerks.
Then seeing them interacting with Gwen from Mallrats and shit was so fucking funny.
Yeah. Because this thing's only like 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, it's pretty fucking short.
It's pretty brief, but it's very funny, and yeah, it's cool that they got to realize this when they were able to realize this even though they didn't have the budget, but they were like, hey, at some point we can come back, and then this is also like the weird tie into the Clerks animated series, which will be next.
Yeah, on our next
watch
part.
Through.
So this was a nice little trilogy. I do want to do the marathon, of just the Mallrats hybrid cut and the Clerks hybrid cut.
Yeah.
Then you got those two.
That's a good double feature.
But before we take a dip downwards quality, why don't we take a little breather because we need a thing.
We have to pay the bills here, guys.
We do, and
so
we've got cocks to suck, and luckily they're ones that we actually enjoy sucking because it's
a very good point.
It's an impressive cock.
Impressive cock.
So stay tuned. Listen to a little message from me, and we'll be right back. Okay.
I agree. That was,
Wow, that was really good, Josiah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It gets better every time you listen to it.
I actually did remake it before we did this, so.
Oh, really?
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
No, I redid it.
I was bullshitting. But...
So I haven't heard it yet.
No.
So I could be lying.
You know what else is bullshitting? Drawing flies.
So this is the first.
Bro.
So drawing flies.
Bro.
All right, here we go.
What the fuck
here
is
we
this?
Go. So
what the?
Do you have? Can I see the box? In the box
Yeah.
I need to look at this. So drawing flies is the first thing in the View Askiew-verse that is not directed by Kevin Smith,
and it shows.
Yeah.
This is directed by, produced, edited, written, and directed by Matt Gissing and Malcolm Ingram.
I don't know who these people are, and I don't want to. I assume they're...
This is labeled as a comedy.
This is... The back of the box says this. An essential film for fans of the View Askiewiverse.
You fucking wish.
Boo.
So,
you fucking wish, mate.
This film... Oh my god, we have to listen to the commentaries at some point. Holy shit, there's 2 audio commentaries.
Do either of them have Kevin Smith?
Yes.
Oh wow, how does he try to
rationalize? And Jason Lee, Jason Mewes. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Deleted scenes and outtakes? Bro, we should have done this.
I couldn't. Not that night.
No, that film kicked my ass.
Maybe as part of part 2, we'll have seen the audio commentary for Drawing Flies.
I mean...
So it tries really hard to want to be Clerks, because the box has the Clerks font.
Yeah.
Has the classic Clerks like look.
Yeah.
Says Jason Lee and Jason Mewes on it.
Yeah.
But it's lying to you.
Mm-hmm.
Believe me, I went into this wanting to love this.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
Because,
I was totally...
again, we're riding the high off of Clerks, both versions of Mallrats and The Lost Scene. We were like, wow.
Okay.
So far, beautiful.
Yeah, very consistent. And I'm like, hey, this one's not directed by Kevin Smith, but maybe this is a hidden gem.
But it has all the same guys in it.
Yeah. If Jason Mewes and Jason Lee are in it, it's like, hey, listen, maybe this is a hidden gem no one knows about because it's just slightly tied into the View Askiew-universe.
Yeah, Scott Mosier's involved in this. I think Scott Mosier's the guy he's also involved with all the other films, but also I think his directorial debut was the new Grinch movie.
What the fuck? Well, it was better than I expected, for whatever that's worth. You really are a heel.
They really should have stopped after Despicable Me 1.
They really should have stopped.
They really should have stopped.
Yeah.
Drawing... Okay, so we're all in agreement. Clerks is an independent production. It's very cheap.
Yeah.
But it still looks good for what it is, and overall is a very solid, wonderfully put together film, despite its budget. This film is like if you took the budget for Clerks but tried to do something on the scale of Mallrats.
Yeah.
And it shows.
So here's the thing. I have seen Clerks, the original cut, like, with its original footage, and it looks shitty.
Yeah.
Drawing Flies looks like 5% better than that.
Yeah.
But not that much. So, because, like, this is produced by Horizon Movies.
I can only assume they
probably put on Blu-ray like 20 years too late.
I can't believe this is on Blu-ray.
I know. I forgot.
This gets a Blu-ray release. Here's the thing. This was the only reason that Kevin Smith, this was a buddy of his. It's a buddy. He's produced one of the guy's documentaries. This was entirely like a favor. I'll be Silent Bob in your movie, because this was after Clerks. It wasn't like this was filmed before Clerks and he was still forming the Silent Bob character and then just put him in the movie. This was, no, I'm gonna bring my character over to add legitimacy to this.
Yep, and my name and everything.
And it's counted as part of the View Askiew-niverse, which
it's an essential film
according to the back
for fans of the View Askiew-niverse. So it's not an actual part of it, but it is.
But it is.
Because Silent Bob's there.
Because Silent Bob's there.
I think they call him Bob, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they do.
So this film is really good for the first 30 minutes.
Yes, because the first 30 minutes are kind of like...
It's Clerks.
It's Clerks, but it's trying to be more like on drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's
Clerks meets Skins.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's like Clerks at 65% power.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they do some interesting stuff where they have the same conversational kind of humor. The audio mixing's way worse, but
yes.
Then they do this weird scene where Jason Lee becomes obsessed with Bigfoot.
Yeah,
and I'm going into this, and I'm like, oh, like we're getting some weird trip scene with like the specter of Bigfoot, like. Maybe this is actually gonna be really good.
That scene where he sees Bigfoot in the apartment is the best scene of the movie.
Yes.
And if it would have ended right there, oh my god, file corrupted.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Great movie.
That would be brilliant.
But it doesn't.
No, because it turns out that, spoiler alert for Drawing Flies, Bigfoot exists and there's a family of them, and you really should have just believed this guy. He was clearly out of his mind.
Other spoiler, there are grown man babies also out in the same woods.
That was
for
fucking
some reason.
Weird.
Yeah.
So yeah. So the first 30 minutes of this film is like it's like Clerks, conversational funny humor, but more toned like a darker film, because it's more like it's instead of people just working at a convenience store or people hanging out at the mall, it's people who are like a bit disenfranchised, low income, on drugs. Yeah. So like it's a bit seedier. Yeah. It's a bit grosser.
Yeah, it's more psychological.
And I thought going in when we were first watching this, I was like, oh, what a cool take on the Kevin Smith format. Yeah. Like the same kind of people, but in more of like a Tarantino-esque setting.
Yeah.
Right. Some more intense things could happen.
Like they're fighting about money and spending the money all on drugs and all that kind of shit. And then the fucking trip scene happens of Bigfoot, and I'm like, oh my god, that's such a good scene.
Yeah, I'm in at this point.
And then the rest of the film is like every other fucking indie film where it's just shot in the woods the whole time.
Listen, I think we can all appreciate indie films because we've done them. Like we understand that it takes a lot of hard work to make something even this good. So again,
like, this is a feat. It is an accomplishment. I am proud of them for making this. They probably learned a lot while doing this. It sucks my cock.
I'm proud that they.
In the worst way. It's almost as bad sucking cock as Belle Delphina's.
Ooh, that's a deep pull.
That's an insult to Drawing Flies.
I know. I'm sorry. I was a bit too mean.
Yeah.
But if you would ask me, do you want Belle Delphine to suck your cock or watch Drawing Flies again, I had to pick Drawing Flies.
This is what people don't understand, is when I criticize a movie or I say it's like this is an abomination to God, I'm not upset that you made it. I'm glad that something exists as opposed to nothing. In this case,
I was going to say,
there's some franchises where that is not the yeah. We'll get to that. But this is definitely like, hey, I'm glad you did this, but fuck, I had to watch this.
Yeah.
This was really bad because Once it gets to the woods, ostensibly the plot is, the group is disintegrating. It's like Blair Witch.
Yeah.
The group is disintegrating because everyone is getting upset at each other and have their own interconnected problems, all on the backdrop of Jason Lee going crazy because of Bigfoot.
Yeah, it's Diet Kevin Smith doing Blair Witch.
Yeah, and it becomes the same scene over and over again.
Yeah,
like
100%.
everyone being like, okay, we're done, we don't want to go further, and Jason Lee is just like, nah, fuck it, we're going further, and they're like, oh, okay, I guess we just will.
Where's the case? Give me the case. I want to tell you guys, okay. So this movie
76 minutes.
is 76 minutes. It feels like 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not lying. I'm not exaggerating. It's painful. This film should have been like half the length.
No, again, I remember when the man baby showed up, I was so close to having a psychological break because I thought the movie was almost over, and then
and it wasn't.
Yeah. Again, that's the biggest problem with this. It's the same 3 scenes just layered back to back and then looped.
It's like the Ragnarok.
Oof. Yeah. Oof.
Yeah. So
I love the one day we're gonna get to Thor Ragnarok and actually review it, and it's like that's the demon that's been looming for so long.
That's the demon in my heart, the demon in the corner of my eye that's lurking there every day, every waking moment of my life.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When we were watching this, we got to a point where I was like, "There's no way anything else in the View Askiew is going to be as bad as this." Yeah. I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe anything could be this bad.
Yeah, I hold that to be true in my heart.
Yeah,
yeah, this is terrible. Yeah. This was fucking atrocious.
I don't care how bad or good bad Yoga Hosers is. There's no way that will be less confident than Drawing Flies.
Because it pissed me off. Because again, those first I think 30-ish minutes, where it's like grimy Kevin Smith. I'm like, wow, this is not as good as the other 2 films, but hey. This is interesting. I'm kind of digging this. The audio's shitty, but I'm digging it.
At worst, it would be a nice, harmless little spinoff.
Yeah, but now it's just they wandered in the woods and they ran into random ass things, and Jason Lee tried really hard to act crazy, and I'm like, man.
He was trying. He really was trying to lend this film some legitimacy.
I guess if you find any positive out of this film, it is Jason Lee.
He's the only one who gives a good performance, and he has the worst script possible.
Because this is before Jason Mewes has become a good actor.
Yeah.
Like, because as this films go on, Jason Mewes get more and more comfortable acting and better at acting.
And we'll see that by the time we get to something like Dogma.
Yeah, and where he's actually really fucking good in Dogma.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Like, delivering really good lines, delivering good shit. Whereas in this, it's like he reverted.
Yeah.
He doesn't have Kevin Smith directing him. With him.
Yeah.
His his power.
From what I know of Mewes and his comfortability level, I feel like Kevin Smith can bring the performance out of him where maybe this other guy wouldn't be able to. But the thing about this movie, and it's very damning, I have no desire to ever watch this again.
No.
And the only way I could get it was on Blu-ray, so I have the Blu-ray. I didn't want to throw it away because I feel like we needed to have it physically here to remind us. There's those other special features which
I think I want to watch through the audio commentaries. I would watch just to see how they justify it.
I would watch that because I'm not actually watching the movie.
Yeah.
I'm being told what they are saying. You know?
I think honestly, I bet you money that watching with audio commentaries would be way better because it would be them either making fun of it or just talking about the production of it. It'd be way more interesting than the actual film itself.
100%.
100%.
Yeah. Hopefully while smoking weed. And
it's Kevin Smith, so it's likely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but Drawing Flies, I remember Nathan was very scared because we were getting consistent quality and then we got this. He's like, oh God. And I'm like, no, I promise you, there's nothing this bad ever again. But after that, we got Chasing Amy.
Which is the complete opposite spectrum.
Yes. This is such a good movie.
And it's so interesting because I will this is just my takeaway because we all kind of have similar tastes in movies, but we also have our definitive differences. Personally, I've never been interested in movies that are just exploring sexuality and that kind of thing, just because it's not something that I think it's not something that I make a big part of my life.
Yeah.
This movie is fucking phenomenal. Like I cried over like how much the characters had to come to terms with like where they were at in life and how they perceived how relationships and interaction is supposed to be versus like no, it's all like there's no right way, there's no wrong way of going about it. It's all a learning experience for everyone.
It's a very interesting film where the basic premise of the movie is Ben Affleck, who I forget the character's name, feels so shitty.
It's fine.
It's Ben Affleck is in love with a girl who's a lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'll just be your friend, it's fine. But like they both kind of like grow towards each other, and she kind of like is questioning her sexuality.
Yeah.
And he's questioning if he's doing the right thing. Well, also on the side, Jason Lee is there and he's questioning his sexuality.
Yeah.
And it's, for me, when I watched this film, for a long time, this was the one View Askiew film I didn't see until I was like in high school, which is when I figured out that I was bisexual.
Mm-hmm.
And that film hit me at a very interesting time in my life where those questions were the questions I was asking, and it sucker punched me so fucking hard. I was like on the fucking floor crying. It was like so relatable to me, like as a film, to see it like characters struggling with sexuality and like these questions while also being the Kevin Smith movie that it is. And so it's really funny, but also really personable and really, really, really honest.
Yeah, that's the word I was waiting on. It's
this
a very
film is
honest.
So honest.
Because on paper, this sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Like when I was reading the plot summary, like way back in the day, I was like, Chasing Amy, what's it about? Oh, it's about a guy who falls in love with a lesbian. I'm like, that sounds really bad. And then you watch and it's like, no, it's very mature about how it handles this.
And I think it's just because Kevin Smith is so good at dialogue where I feel like if it was someone else, then it would feel very like the dialogue explaining it and like bringing it into perspective would be a lot clunkier and a lot like, preachier.
Because this film doesn't feel that preachy.
No, not at all.
It's so real, man.
Yeah.
Like when and again, because being a bisexual person, like the scene where like Gwen goes to her lesbian group of friends and it's like, hey, I'm into a guy. They all act like she fucking just like betrayed them.
Yeah. And then you realize they didn't really care about you. It was just the fact that you identified the same as them. It's like,
and it was like, oh fuck, man.
Or of course, the big scene where Silent Bob gets to break the silence a little bit.
Well, because the whole film, like, you guys are like, where the fuck's Jay and Silent Bob?
Yeah, I was like,
because they're on the cover, they're like, and then they get the fucking scene. Because like in Clerks and in Mallrats, Silent Bob gets to have like the speech.
Yeah.
Where like he finally talks, lays everything down on the line, and really makes everyone kind of go, huh. But this is a film that really like, it happened where he was the one who just came in and said what had to be said.
Yeah.
Because in Clerks it happened because Jason was supposed to say it, but he forgot his line. So just Kevin Smith said it.
That's actually really great.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this scene is just Silent Bob like being really dominant.
Yeah.
Do something.
It's like,
like, oh god.
Jay has no power over
It's like
me.
Kevin Smith can act? Oh my god.
Yeah, he's very good in this scene.
He's incredible.
And I know it's him doing his own words, so that helps, but he's very good.
Yeah.
I can't deny it's a great scene when he kind of tells him like his perspective on relationships and romance, and then Ben Affleck's like, fuck. Like, because the other big scene is the scene where he finds out that she basically got gangbanged.
Yeah.
Like she was in a threesome with some guys, and it shatters his illusion of, I was the first guy that she fell in.
Yeah, because they tackle every aspect of like
it's so good.
Every aspect of the love story of a guy's into a girl who's a lesbian, but they fall in love. They tackle every way that could ever possibly happen.
Yeah.
And they have the whole scene where he has this illusion that, like I'm the one who. So that one thing in like Seinfeld where the main girl's all like, oh yeah, I converted the gay guy. Like look at me. And like, oh no, you went back. But like that idea of like, look, I converted somebody to be straight. I converted the gay to be straight. And it's like, oh no, actually Ben Affleck back in high school, she fucked two dudes. And it was called Chinese finger cuffs.
And then she just questions him at one point, like, so I've fucked all these women, you didn't have a problem, and then I fucked you, and it's so good because, again, part of the honesty and maturity of this film is that it isn't afraid for its characters to be shallow and acknowledge that they're acting shallow and still but they're still good people and they're just trying to figure it out. It's not that we can remove all shallowness from our life. We're gonna have these thoughts. Some of us like are able to adapt to them better. But yeah, it's just, again, it's a very fucking honest movie that doesn't hold back in exploring this kind of a topic in a way that is fair and balanced in like every possible way towards the characters' personalities, their sexualities, their pasts, their actions. It's all really good. And him, like, it's all kind of framed around being about a comic book. Yeah. Which was interesting.
Yeah. Like, because Ben Affleck is the illustrator, but the other guy he's line art. He's not a tracer.
And the whole time they're like, "Oh, line art." It's like, no, fuck you. It's so important.
Oh, you just trace it, and it's like, oh.
I give it depth and character. Oh, so that's just a way of saying you trace it.
Oh, yeah, I felt so bad for him. I did. I was like, God, one day you will be recognized.
Yeah.
And then he is.
And he is.
In the end.
We didn't talk about the best character, the black guy.
I was gonna say.
Oh yeah.
He's so good. Like he opens up with his like basically like Comic-Con panel.
Yeah.
Of like, you know, him being all about like Black Power and stuff, and Jason Lee is just there as like we find out as like a plant in the audience, basically.
Yeah. But he's like basically voicing up like really stupid, like just like asking dumb questions about what he's saying.
What's a Nubian?
Yeah.
It was made me laugh.
Oh, it's so good.
And then he basically like shoots him.
This is why I love older comedies, because you couldn't get away with this nowadays.
Dude, oh my god, no.
Not at all. But yeah,
that's why Kevin Smith nowadays just does random crazy bullshit with monsters, because I know no one's gonna care about my deep personal commentary.
Yeah, unfortunate. But yeah,
he's too busy crying over Baby Yoda. It's fine.
One day the teacup will reform.
Yeah, Chasing Amy is very good.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Again, it's at this point going through, it's like, oh, this is like, I still like Clerks more, but this is so good, dude.
They're all good for different reasons, and this is just like a raw, honest, personal movie that is like really important. This is an important piece of cinema, I'd say.
Yeah,
I would say for what it's trying to tackle, yeah, a lot more people should watch this for very, very various reasons. But
I mean, if more, you know, of the we'll say woke movies of today were more like this, we wouldn't be having all the issues that we are having now.
This is a very woke movie, but not in a preachy, in-your-face SJW way.
This is a proper wokeness.
This is a proper wokeness.
It's a wokeness that's earned.
Well, yeah. It's not trying to tear anybody down.
No.
Because Gwen isn't the perfect person, and neither is Ben Affleck or Jason Lee.
Yeah. Which would have been very easy to do to make her
incredibly easy,
make her perfect. And it's like, look at this guy it's his fault that all this is falling. It's like, no. Yeah. They're all trying to figure it out. And you get that great scene at the end where Ben Affleck's like, hey, listen, we should all have sex together. Which I think is one of the best payoffs.
It's so good.
Well, and it's so great because the whole time, like, you know it's going to go shitty. But it's like, in the moment, you're like, oh, this is really funny. But then, of course, the other shoe drops. And she's like, oh, it's over. It's like,
I love this scene where Ben Affleck's character lays it all out. And he's, okay, like, all right, I'm in love with you. And you have weird feelings about me, but like you, Jason Lee, you love me actually.
Yeah.
Holden McNeil. And it's not Gwen, it's Alyssa, because Gwen's the character in Mallrats. I fucked up.
That's okay. That's totally fine.
Banky. Also, Casey Affleck's in this.
Yep.
As the fucking Comic-Con guy.
Yep.
The fan.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, Chasing Amy. Really, really good entry. Yeah. And then we get another 1-2 punch.
Oh, we also get Matt Damon.
Oh, yeah.
And Matt Damon and then the guy who plays Dante are like the comic book officials.
I love how the Dante actor keeps getting brought back as this, like, dickhead.
Also, the chick from Drawing Flies is in this movie.
Well, moved on to bigger and better things.
Yeah,
I'm on IMDb, so I know these facts.
I know. I'm seeing you scroll through.
I forgot about Matt Damon. I love
it. You shouldn't.
Need to watch it again
because he's a servant of the Most High in Dogma.
Oh boy, yeah.
Or not anymore. What a weird, what a crazy cinematic universe this is. This would be like if in the MCU you had Iron Man, the Incredible Hulk, and then Doctor Strange, and you're like, okay, wait a minute. All right, we've opened this up to a much wider cosmology than I was previously. Previously, there was Bigfoot, you know.
Yeah, it's funny because
are we on the Dogma?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Unless you got more chasing Amy, I think we're pretty well.
No, cover the crying, cover the gay stuff. No, we're good.
Yeah, that's.
Now we're gonna talk about religion.
Yeah, it's funny because before I had seen this movie, the only thing I had known about it was the cool guy Jesus meme.
Yeah,
yeah.
I had known that and something about Alan Rickman being cool, and that it was controversial when it was released. That's all I know about Dogma.
It was so controversial that Kevin Smith himself boycotted the movie.
I love that video.
It's so glorious.
It's like, yeah, this movie's harmful.
Yeah.
It's against Catholic beliefs.
Kevin Smith joining a boycott for his own film.
Yeah, that's next level, dude.
And
that's what I want to be.
As someone, you know, granted my religiosity is not as prominent as it was in my earlier years, but you know, as someone of the Christian faith, get over yourself. It's a fucking comedy. And it's really fucking funny.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is, Kevin Smith is not saying that if you believe in Christ, you're stupid or bad. It's him saying that organized religion, like the dogmatic principles of why is this the case? Because I'm right. Why are you right? Because I talk to God.
Yeah, it's like
that's what's great about this movie is that it's not him. It's not like him from an atheistic perspective shitting on religion. It's him shitting on religion from a religious perspective. Which is
why it's not preachy, because he's like, no, listen, I've struggled with this personally. Like, these are my own thoughts, like, going back and forth on it. I'm not trying to, like, shit on Catholicism willy-nilly. He does, but it's from a well-learned perspective.
Well, that's why it's great with Chris Rock's part, when he's just like, oh, yeah, you know, God hates religion. He just loves ideas. It's like, yeah, because, you know, I think that's a profound way of looking at it, that all beliefs have like something, there's something there where it's like you're doing something right, but when you say everything else is wrong if you're not following all these things, that's when it's like I don't know about that.
Yeah, and the whole plot of the film is basically like the stupid Catholic Church wrote like because of their weird like you know, whatever they're doing, made a loophole in the system to let the forsaken angels back into heaven.
Yeah. Just because of a technicality of religious law, it now has to be true because whatever the Pope or the Catholic Church says is true. Because that's just, which is so great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, they basically just decree. I forget what it's like on a certain day.
If you walk into this church, you'll automatically be absolved of all sins.
Yeah. And then so Ben Affleck and
so the idea is that
fallen angels,
Loki and Bartleby,
and they want to get back into heaven, so they're just like, listen, as long as we pass under the arches and then just die immediately, we're in the clear, we're back in heaven. And it's like, no, God decreed that you were banished for eternity. If you do this, then you make God wrong and you destroy reality.
Yeah.
Like, oh Christ! Like, the stakes literally could not get any higher in the View Askiew.
Yeah, we go from the stakes being I hate my job, I gotta get my girlfriend back. Oh God, should I be with my girlfriend? If we don't do this, the universe will literally implode.
Yeah,
that's why it's so baffling. Is because you go to this and Jay and Silent Bob are literally fighting Golgotham, a shit demon. And then Silent Bob is able to one-shot him with his cleaner because knocks out
strong odors because Jay farts.
Yeah.
It's very good. Yeah, this film has probably the biggest budget we'll ever see in a Kevin Smith movie.
I think so.
Yeah.
This is the height.
Yeah.
Because it has like Alan Rickman
Yeah.
Just
As Metatron.
Yeah, Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Janine Garofalo, isn't it?
Yep.
It's fucking crazy, man.
And Jason Lee gets to be a bad guy, and
Jason Lee gets to be a bad guy, and it's so fucking good.
He's so slimy and wonderful.
He's so slimy.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting how like all these like Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, and Jason Lee, they're all bad guys. And it's like, oh, this is so unusual to see Ben Affleck just murdering people, and it's like, yeah.
Well, and Matt Damon's like kind of a good guy.
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
And he
Loki doesn't fully want to be evil.
No, he just wants back in.
Yeah.
He just wants back in, so he goes along with this because it's the best shot he has.
Because he's bored watching cartoons.
Yeah. Yeah, this one is very good because the comedy is still razor sharp, but because it is trying to fit it in the cosmology and have like reasoning for everything, it's actually very good world building. Surprising amount of world building for this comedy about loopholes in religion.
Well, the scene that is emblematic of the whole movie is Matt Damon's first scene, where he's sitting in the airport and he's talking to this nun. And he's basically converting this nun to atheism, and then the nun is like. He's like, yeah, take that collection money, go buy yourself a nice dress, go out of town, like, enjoy yourself, okay? And what the fuck?
Oh, God! Hey, Google. Stop.
Our Google just started playing Ocean Man.
We stopped that hours ago.
What the fuck? That was like 2 hours ago.
We're closing in on 3 hours ago.
Oh my God.
We were talking about God, man.
Oh, what the fuck was that? I really hope that was on the audio.
It was
Holy
so faint,
shit.
I'm not sure.
Oh, man.
Oh, fuck. Okay, anyway, so Loki converts this nun to atheism. She goes off to go enjoy her life. And then Ben Affleck shows up like, you know there's a God. You've been in his presence. You had dinner with them. Why do you do this? That is the movie. Is that like there's a God? Like that's the joke. Is that like the movie believes in God? It's pro God. It's anti-religion. It's so fucking good.
Yeah. Which again, that's part of the reason why I love it so much. Is you get this whole arc of, oh, you're the descendant of Jesus Christ, but it's not like the Da Vinci Code and it's not stupid.
Yeah.
Whoa. Hey, leave any Da Vinci Code resentment out of this before we get actual discussion about
Angels and Demons is a great movie.
Yes, it is.
That'll be
you
on
can't just hit me with this Da Vinci Code heresy.
Listen, it's not my fault. That's the one other movie with this plot point that I remember.
Listen. We're not doing this right now.
Okay, I'm sorry. The Robert Langdon trilogy retrospective coming soon.
Yes, that is coming soon.
I mean, I have the collection. I was going to watch it like a year and a half ago, but I still haven't.
I need you to chill.
I haven't seen any of them.
Right.
I don't have a horse in this race. So.
Good.
We'll give you a horse.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Angels and Demons.
A horse is a horse. Of course.
I think one of the favorite jokes about this movie is the bit where Matt Damon convinces Ben Affleck to go on this side quest to kill the board of directors of Mubi, which is this universe's Disney, basically, which is hilarious. But
Cathartic as hell.
Movie The Golden Calf.
Yeah,
which is such a great, like, almost religious, like, and it's like oh, you're worshiping another idol that's not God.
I'm gonna fucking kill you,
and
Mouse.
Basically, yeah. Oh, it's so funny. The whole scene where like they're reading the minds of all the board of directors, and they're all evil, scummy, awful, terrible people. Except for one.
This film is
one of them.
This film was based on Kevin Smith's own experiences, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure. Except she doesn't say Gesundheit or bless you when he sneezes, so he almost kills her.
Yeah.
But he doesn't.
He doesn't.
He holds off.
Do you believe in voodoo?
Yeah.
Fucking outstanding. And Jay and Silent Bob are prophets.
Yeah. They are destined to help in the struggle against evil, and that's and the fact that they actually deliver on that is so wonderful.
No, they're not just there to like be haha funny. It's
they're in the final battle for all creation.
Jay, if you had told me after watching Clerks that Jay is gonna shoot the wings off an angel outside of a giant cathedral and the battle to save humanity, I would not have believed you.
Hey,
No.
this might be some shop talk, so we might need to edit this out. But when are we gonna get Jay and Silent Bob and Jocelyn Possum?
At JPW?
Yeah.
Oh my god, they'd be too powerful.
Yeah, they would just win. Well, they got to fight the Grinch.
Oh my god.
That's what it is. One like that's they're like the final boss before the chairman actually has to come in.
See, the problem is that we already have teams like them. We have Mario and Luigi and Wario and Waluigi.
Well,
that's
when some get deleted.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'll keep that in. That's great.
yeah, no, that's foreshadowing.
No one watches both.
No, if you watch JPW, you don't listen to this podcast. That's just a fact. There's like that one person who does, and they're like, "Oh, I got a spoiler for the next arc."
It's probably Sean.
But yeah,
Sean's the bridge between worlds.
Yeah, I gotta say though, Dogma is a very, very, very strong contender for best so far.
It's an epic.
Yeah, it's an epic.
It is.
Like it's all these movies have been extremely different.
And it pisses me the fuck off that it's out of print and really hard to get.
Yeah.
Why is this movie so hard to get a hand on?
Do you think they're honestly just scared that if they do that, there's going to be a whole boycott again?
No way. In this day and age,
I don't feel like
it's harder to believe that chasing Amy is so easy to get.
Yeah.
You know, that's a very good point.
Drawing flies is easier to get than Dogma.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I hate this.
That's why I didn't feel bad about torrenting this one, because you have to pay like $109 to get the DVD.
Which I will one day, because I need to
one day.
films.
But that's absolutely ridiculous. You guys need to release this movie, and I will buy it day one.
Yeah,
Blu-ray
seriously.
Special edition.
Give it to me.
Yeah, give me like
For fuck's sake.
Give me like the equivalent of your 50th anniversary Ben-Hur like big box set of Dogma.
Of Dogma, yeah.
I'll eat that shit up.
And then to finish it off, we have.
So this was funny. So this was a thing. So Sal was very dedicated to, we need to include every Jay and Silent Bob appearance. Unfortunately,
Because they're the connecting tissue.
They are.
yes. But unfortunately, when you have the third film of a trilogy, and only in the third film of the trilogy do Jay and Silent Bob show up, and only for 20 seconds. Well,
And it's the worst film of the trilogy.
Yeah.
it's the worst of the whole series because there's a fourth one.
That's right.
That's
and a TV show.
Yeah, which we watched a season of.
Which was really good.
It was, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was good, surprisingly.
Yeah.
But this one, Scream 3, the worst of the series, that's the subtitle. Oh yeah, we just kept putting it off, because it's hard to want to watch Scream 3 without watching the first two when you know you're already not going to like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we put this off for months.
Yeah.
Many months.
Many Bothans
And so many Bothans die trying to get these plans. And so today we finally watched the 20-second clip of them in Scream 3 instead of watching the whole movie. Because we started to watch it and I was like,
there's so much plot.
I forgot what the fuck's happening.
Yeah.
Right now,
completely lost.
Right now, and the funny thing is, the Scream franchise was the second franchise we ever reviewed, Nathan.
It's true.
The first one being Saw. But I wouldn't mind doing a side Scream retrospective.
How do I do, boy?
But yeah, we don't need to watch it for the context.
We watched their cameo, and they're just at a studio lot, and they just show up, and they're just Jay and Silent Bob, and they just say funny haha.
We're like, hey, it's Connie Chung.
That's it.
Yeah, they hit on Courtney Cox.
Yeah.
She flips him off.
And that's it.
It's funny.
That's the scene.
But it's 20 seconds. Carrie Fisher's in the movie as a person who's identical to Carrie Fisher but isn't, which is the best joke in the movie.
Hey, Carrie Fisher's also in... never mind.
You can't mention that yet. But yeah, so this
Star
is...
Wars.
She is in Star Wars.
Oh, okay. That's what you're... But yeah, so...
She's also in Smallville.
Yes. One day we'll get that Smallville finished up.
One day.
But yeah, so we just watched their little cameo, and it's just a fun little thing. And this was around the period before they were releasing the next big installment.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Smith was kind of going, let's have him cameo in some TV shows, and and a few cameos in movies.
Just have some fun.
But yeah, I don't see the need to watch all of Scream 3 just for that when we don't have the first two context at least.
Yeah, and I don't see the need to for this retrospective to have watched all of the Scream films.
No, not interspace between. That's madness.
No, that's
so distant.
Yeah, that's
even though they are quote in the same continuity. So actually, sorry, unquote that they are in the same continuity.
Yeah.
As is Degrassi. But
and The Flash.
Wow. That's so far away.
And My Name is Earl.
How bad is it that
Yes, dear.
My name is How bad is it that My Name is Earl is the most desirable out of all those TV shows?
Oof.
That's scary.
Hey, it's the pilot.
It's just the pilot.
It's not that bad.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah, so that was part 1
Oh shit.
of the View Askiew retrospective. Long time coming.
Yeah.
Next we got the animated series, so I'm sure we'll bust through that faster than Scream 3.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, and on the next part, we're going to have the animated series, the Flying Car MTV short film, Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, the very first stand-up, An Evening with Kevin Smith,
oh boy, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
an episode of the show Yes, Dear, and to wrap up the next part, we end with Jersey Girl.
Yay!
I love it.
Wow. So look out for part 2 of our discussion coming to podcast centers near you soon.
Probably the same year as this one.
Definitely the same year. We're not putting it off for that long.
So to close this out, I think we should recite the national anthem. Would you like to making fuck Berserker?
Berserker. Would you like to suck my cock, Berserker?
Berserker.
That's beautiful, man.
Cut. Print it.